redo this barn tour. Last time I did it was really windy, so I'm gonna do it now. Redo it so it sounds a little rehearsed, because it is. These right here was mainly the hay barns. Well, they was only hay barns when I was growing up. So we'll go look at them. Alrighty. Now, as a child and a very young adult, square bales was the only thing that ever went in here. So it's, it's pretty basic, nothing out of the ordinary. I doubt they had ever kept cows in here before I was born or could remember. Not saying that they didn't, I mean, because you could, but this was a place where square bales always went. What happened? Anyways, I'm gonna just stick you in here. That there was always square bales. Last night it was like 41 degrees and snowing. And today it's 17 degrees and, did I say 41 degrees and snowing? I meant 41 degrees and raining. Excuse me. Okay. Now this one, I have put some cows in here a time or two. They don't mind step over something small like that. They don't even pay any mind to it. But I have put a cow and a calf in here a time or two, but my whole life, it's always been hay. And if you look right here, you can tell this is kind of a newer part to about right there roughly. But right here used to be an opening and a gate. And what we used to do is that little 135 Massey that you see every whip stitch, we used to put round bales in here. So you would back in here like this, and I mean, you could put 1, 2, 3, 4, you could put 10 or 12 in here, maybe, yeah, 16, no more than 16. But things got a little hairy a time or two, and we just decided to close it off. Actually, it was over to right here. As if you can see right there, see the post right there? Once you go past that post, it drops almost straight up and down. So it got a little sketchy coming out of here in the winter time. Be froze and, oops. You just, how it is. So we opted to close this off and just put square bales in here. But square bales are basically the thing of the past. So we don't do it anymore. So these barns are basically just sitting here empty. Now, the barn we're coming up on right here is the biggest barn on the property. Okay, we're in the bigger barn here. And, well, the biggest barn, I should say. Excuse me, as you can tell, it's now empty. There's no hay in it. As a kid, this used to be closed off with a gate or a wooden, something like that right there. And it was always square bales. And this, you can tell, is an add-on. This was here long before this was. This was added on, I don't know when, but it's definitely afterwards. Let me just climb over in here. Oh. So you can just get the full effect of it. They built some small grain feeder things. You can tell there's a hay manger in here. And obviously at one time they probably fed indoors on the roof, whatever you want to call it. Now you could probably feed 4 or 5 cows right here. And honestly, I'm not sure how they ever fed like that. And then over here is basically the same thing. Try not to bang my head. This is the larger part. You can tell it also has a hay manger. And as a kid, I do remember putting hay in this. You can't see nothing. But it was just for calves. I don't ever remember having cows in here other than if they had a calf, because we would put them over in here, this little 6x10 stall, maybe 6x12. But you put them in there and they could get hay over there because the manger goes all the way against the wall over there. And I do remember feeding some calves in here a time or two as a kid. But it's dark in here, man. Last time I did this, it wasn't that dark. But anyways, let's go back through here. I wish I could utilize this barn, but just doesn't really happen that way. But, you know, they got doors all down through here, 3 or 4 of them. And just a little cubby hole here as well. And just outside here is a big concrete box that they used to water, well, you know, whatever they had in here, cows, calves, whatever, anything like that. And, you know, this is where they would throw the square bales through, because this, when I was a small kid, small child, this used to be stacked plumb full. I mean, plumb full. I bet you they would put, heck, I dare say there'd be 1,800 square bales in here. And that's how things have changed so much in the course of, well, just say 25 years. Now you couldn't pay somebody $30 an hour to pitch square bales. But it's I'd really like to utilize this barn, but it's just not in the cards, because let's just say I'm not allowed, and just leave it at that. So anyways, let's go on to the next couple of barns, and hopefully this is somewhat interesting for you. That concrete water box is, you see the gutter right there, comes off the roof, goes down, goes in a big, well, I wouldn't say big, but probably 12 to 1,500 gallon tank, concrete tank. And that there is an outdoor john. I used that as a kid. Barn here, when I was a kid, was my favorite barn of all. And once I get in here, I'll show you. But this little barn here, everything that would come off this orchard went in this barn. And this orchard always produced anywhere from 100 to 180 square bales. And they used to call this orchard because it used to be, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 apple trees. There's a pear tree. Not a pear, that's an apple too, gracious. But anyways, everything that would come off that orchard would go in here, or just about go in here. Now, the reason why this was my favorite barn growing up is this right here. We used to feed calves in here, and this has a floor in it. You can see there's a board broke out. Now, as a kid, I thought that was the coolest thing, because this was a raised hay trough. But, yep, remember as a kid throwing hay down through here, because we would leave, we'd leave this walkway through here, just enough where you could get through and get a bale of hay out and throw it down through here. And they would come in through here and through here. And there's some grain boxes. I can remember throwing a little coffee can full in there, and there's remains of an old one. But that one was always used for cows. If you had put a cow in here, I can remember walking down through here and just taking a couple of pails and just out through there. But it's going back to the dirt. But I said before, I wish I could utilize these barns, but I'm just going to leave that alone and just say I'm really not allowed to do what I would like to do here. So anyways, on to the next barn. Okay, one of the greatest memories I have of this place out here is this contraption right here. I'm sure you old timers know exactly what this is and what it was used for. And I used to get to draw water out of this. Where that bucket is a well. And what you would do, you take this, I forget the name of it, but you drop it down in there, you let it roll down in there until you hear it hit water. And when you heard it bubble, gurgle, you crank this handle right here. You cranked it up, and when you got it up here, you lifted it out and you had a water bucket here. And see this trigger right here? You pull up on it and then turn the water loose. This was called the well house. Alrighty, here we have the granary. And this is where, well, obviously we put, idiots, this is where we stack grain. You just go down to the feed store, and we take our feed sacks down there and they'd fill them up, stack them over here, stack them over there. And use this here to put 300 or 400 pound in. And this box here was a dynamite box. This is what they would carry dynamite in. And obviously we put the lid on it, but that's what this old box was. And, you know, you'd pour oats or whatever you had in this one, and barley or something in that one, wheat, whatever you had, your feed or your minerals. And then the board ain't over here, but there used to be a bench, shelf, whatever. And over here is where we used to salt pork down. Put a ham hock, not a ham hock, but a big old ham or something, whatever you had, really, chops, anything. Put that stuff and salt her down and keep it salt packed on it. Boy, oh boy. I used to do a lot of old-timey things growing up, because this is where I did a lot of my growing up. And oh yeah, get up there. Don't you get your head out of there. Neighbor's got minerals I bought from trying these from Rural King. I guess I like them good enough. I really don't know. Get off of that. So, anyways, come on, gotta get out. Let's go. Come on, dummies. Now this barn here always served as a dual purpose, but most of the time, for me growing up, it was just put hay in. Now before my time, as you can tell, they would keep stuff in here. And I'm guessing calves, because I don't know what else it could be in. Man, I know you can feed cows in here, but they used to keep quite a few out here for this place. More than what I have ever kept out here. But the only times I ever remember feeding anything in here was just, you know, calves. Because there would be, look at the little bitty feller. Look at the little bitty thing. Uh-oh, I ain't got it. Used to be a trough right here where we feed 4 out of 5 gallon bucket of grain for the cows, and the calves would come in here because there would be, you know, something across here that slide through here, over here. The calves could get in, but the cows could not. But the majority of the time, this was just stacked full of square bells. I don't ever remember what this was ever used for. Short of just stacking square bells in here. And just occasionally, there would be a cow in here. Because it's pretty low. It's about 5 foot here and 6.5 foot up here. So it's not a real tall barn, but you know, there was a manger here, so they used to feed something at one time. So I don't know. beyond me. But I only ever put square bales in here, and I've never had to put a cow in here. So this barn was a hay barn, like the rest of them. Growing up as a kid, there used to be a fence, went right down in this holler, in this swag down into that holler down in there. But there was a fence here that divided that side and this side. So there would be cows over there and cows over here. You know, as a kid, right here's the lot I was telling you about. Used to be here. But there used to be feeders all the way out through here. And I can remember many times pitching square bales down over here into them troughs, feeders, whatever you want to call them, and taking 4 or 5 5-gallon buckets, putting grain out through there. Because over here, there used to be like, I want to say about 10 or 12 cows over here. Not that this over here wouldn't keep them, but this is where they would winter, some of them, and bring them back to my house. It's not here anymore. But right here in this open spot used to be a hog pen. They used a truck bed as a hog pen. It's no longer there. Okay. Then this is the sick barn, sick pen, whatever you want to call it. This is where you did all your doctoring. You bring them into this slot here. You run them in here. This gate right here swings around to this post. So you bring the cow in. So you come around through here. This gate goes against this post. She comes around up to there, and you'd pin her up with this gate. You can do whatever you need to. Then at one time, as you can tell, right there, it's a head gate. I never used it as a kid. Then, you know, you feed them in here, water, and whatever you had to do if you had to keep the cow up. And here is the main feeding area for the calves. We're from here all the way over to that gate. And I can remember 20 calves in here. I think there used to be some up to here because we redone this a couple years ago. I want to say there was some up to here that we used to put feed in as well. This is where you always load the cows out from. This gate here. Oh, muddy. This gate here, this is where you used to load cattle trucks out of. What you do, this door would be pointing that direction over to that post. And this was in a lot better shape. The post was further up. But you'd have it gated up like this. Like the truck in here, square like so. And they'd step right up on the truck because one time this would be level with the 2-ton cattle truck, 1-ton cattle truck. But now we load out of here stock trailers. Decent way to unload, load or unload. A whole bunch of goats here. And see this old log building? They say, and I was told by my grandpa, this is where they used to sleep because there was 9 kids. I'm not going to go in there because there's personal belongings that belong to the owner of this place, so we're not going in. But yep, that's where they used to. That's where the kids would sleep. And there's a bench right here that they used to sleep on top, kind of like bunk beds. But see, calf come in through that door over there. That's how they used to come in. And right through there. See, he come in here. He wants feed, but I don't like to feed just one at a time because these stupid goats, they jump up in these feeders and crap in them and everything else.